Committee meeting for the Whittier Regional Vocational Technical High School. Our first order of business is Pledge of Allegiance. Would you all join me, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. And this is the opportunity for public comment, but seeing none, we'll move along. Yes.
I would like to move the approval of our budget workshop on March 13th.
We have a
As
second?
presented.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have to abstain.
Abstain.
Okay,
Want me to?
okay, so Ben, Gary, and Dave abstain.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to approve the minutes of the regular school committee meeting of March 13th.
Second.
Second. Any discussion on that? No, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye. Also abstention.
3 abstentions.
3 abstentions. And the treasurer's report. Amy is not here. Did everybody have a chance to look at it? Any questions about that? Do we have a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
Motion to approve. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is our self-evaluation.
People that I don't have aren't here.
The people that we don't have aren't here anyway.
Except Ben's working on.
We have 8 or 9 of them out of 14. Do we want to just base it on that, or what's the committee's pleasure? Do you want to wait and try to get a couple more in?
Question, are any of them on like a vacation, like isn't Joanne away for a couple of months or so?
Like 4 months?
Okay, right, so she's someone who wouldn't fill it out.
So it is online. If she's maybe given a, I didn't realize it was. After I talked to you the other night, so I was prepared to do it online if you didn't bring it tonight. So maybe a note to her, an email to her, and see if she could do it, send it in.
I said go with whatever you get after this meeting.
Okay.
If anybody wants to throw one in after the meeting, go knock it out.
Yeah. Okay. And if we get one in afterwards and it drastically changes things, then we'll speak to it. Okay. We have no student rep tonight.
No, here he comes, he's in his baseball uniform.
There he is!
Riding home.
Timing is everything.
Breathe, you're good.
Here, read this.
A little chilly out there.
Get you a cup of hot coffee or something?
I'm good, thank you.
Any
Good evening,
snow?
Madam Chair, Superintendent Lynch, and all other school committee members. Chess Club is going great. There are many new members each week. We have continued with the timing clock and have started to have friendly competition within the club. Student government is preparing to hold elections for the 2019/2020 school year. We're also very proud to represent Whittier Tech at Student Government Day in Boston at the State House last Friday, April 5th. The Diversity Club had one of our members give a presentation about her family's Muslim culture and their trip to Saudi Arabia over February break. Another member shared about his family's culture from the Côte d'Ivoire. We will be gearing up for our Do One Thing for diversity promotion in May. These students help us with our mission to appreciate other cultures by learning more about them. The drama club is winding down. The cast and crew worked very hard for a wonderful show. They enjoy the process and performances and are already looking forward to next year. The chorus rehearsals will begin after April vacation. Interact Club assisted in selling tickets for the Whittier play at Whittier Tech. We are also participated in helping serve our second community meal at the Haverhill Citizen Center. We will continue to partner with Haverhill Rotary to assist them in whatever they need. We are also looking forward and participating in the Relay for Life at Whittier Tech in May. DECA States wrapped up on March with 11 students competing. While we did not have any students advance to compete at the international level, we did get recognized for achieving Thrive level. Peer leadership has been helping student government prepare for freshman elections. We will be entering freshman homerooms to help them with the election process. We are also in the process for recruiting for next year. The Key Club had a very successful blood drive recently and are now focusing on year-end activities. In addition, we are starting to make a general plan for next year. Environmental Club has been working on posters to hang in the CAF for Earth Day, as well as posters to represent Whittier Tech at the Environmental Symposium in Newburyport this week. In addition, we hope to begin discussing a possible field trip in Audubon at Park River and get a tour with Joanna True or their environmental educator. Our numbers are going up and the students are really motivated. The girls lacrosse team has combined 45 players from Whittier, Sparhawk, and Amesbury. It will be the first year of having a JV team. The regular season begins Wednesday, April 10th. We are looking forward to competing. The boys lacrosse team has been working hard the past 2 weeks to prepare for their upcoming season. The team is made up of 25 boys and heavily made up of underclassmen, freshmen and sophomore, with only 7 upperclassmen. The season opens up April 9th at Swampscott High. We are young, very positive, which gives high hopes to a better each game. The boys and girls track team are fielding their biggest numbers yet with a combined total of 120 plus athletes. Many of these athletes are brand new to track. Neither team have been able to have their first meet yet, but all coaches are hopeful for another successful season. The girls softball team is reloading this year and had over 50 girls try out. They're looking forward to go far in states again this year and continue their winning ways by setting their sights on becoming league champions 5 years in a row. The boys baseball team is off to a great start this year. They won their first game versus Neshoba Tech and faced Shawsheen today. 3 sophomores captains were picked to lead the young team, which makes for a promising year. And today we played Shawsheen. We ended up winning in the bottom of the 9th, 7-6. Thank you.
What position do you play, Andrew?
I'm a utility player, so I play everywhere.
Everything?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. So
Thank
this
you.
is your first win, or is this
This is our second win.
second win?
So yeah, we're
nice.
2-0 on the season.
Nice, starting off, yeah.
Congratulate Coach Bowl.
I will.
All right. Anybody have any questions or comments on Andrew's report? No?
I'm just impressed how we ran in here from the field.
I know. Poor kid.
He was worried about coming in his uniform. I said, it's fine.
You
Yeah.
don't get to see these uniforms.
It's fine.
Slide into second
Advertisement
base.
never hurts.
Third base.
Third base.
You don't have to get any dirt on it because the ground's frozen.
All right. All right. May we have our superintendent's report, Ms. Lynch?
Good evening. Good evening, Madam Chairwoman, members of the committee. For informational purposes for you today, I have hires, an EL instructor to provide SEI or ESL training, and spring coaches. I have resignations of a cafeteria worker and a science tutor. Budget update, we had the public hearing on the FY20 budget this evening, and the budget books will be distributed to cities and towns tomorrow, so thank you for that. Whittier just completed its first online MCAS testing with 279 grade 10 students on March 26th and 27th. It went flawlessly. I really have to congratulate Katrina Jensen, our coordinator of data and assessment. She spent a lot of time making sure that this went just right. We practiced, we made sure all the kids' iPads were up to date. You know how technology can be, and it went flawless. So I really need to hats off to her, and Patty Little's here, and she really worked hard with the special education students and the small groups, and it went very, very well. I couldn't have asked for anything more. The test results will be available by the end of the school year, which is new for us. I mean, usually we get the English late in June, but we're looking at getting them more towards the end of April, beginning of May. And I'm happy to report that all of our seniors have passed the MCAS in English,
Yay.
math, and science. So they've all met their MCAS requirements. On Friday, March 15th, I attended the North Shore Superintendent's Roundtable meeting that was held here at Whittier. Senator Brewster and many other local legislators attended the meeting with Senator Lewis and Senator Chang Diaz to discuss education funding. On Wednesday, March 20th, I attended the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors meeting at Joseph's in Haverhill. On Monday, March 25th, we hosted a budget breakfast meeting for the Finance Committee members from Raleigh, Salisbury, and Newburyport, and I want to thank Kara Cosmas and Tammy Dontremont for putting that together. On Tuesday, March 26th, I attended the Salisbury Chamber of Commerce annual legislative meeting at Sylvan Street Grill. Representative Kalkors and Senator DeZoglio spoke at the event. I want to thank Patty Lowell and Chris Laganis for attending this event with me. On Thursday, March 28th, we hosted another budget breakfast meeting for Finance Committee members from Ipswich, West Newbury, Amesbury, Haverhill, and Merrimack. These events, we discussed the budget. We're able to let them know what numbers we'd be looking at, and the feedback from the budget meetings were very positive. On Thursday, March 28th, Whittier hosted the Spring Advisory Board meeting. We had over 250 people at this event. I want to thank Beverly DeSalvo for all of her hard work putting together this event. I also want to thank all the members of the advisory board for volunteering their time to helping our faculty and our students. It's a big time commitment, and I really do appreciate their efforts. On April 9th, 2019, Ms. Cosmas and I had lunch with Mayor Ferrantini from Haverhill. We toured the advanced manufacturing shop, and he was very impressed with our program, and we're looking to find ways that we can collaborate together to service more students. And today I attended the Merrimack Valley Superintendent's Association meeting at the Lanham Club, where again we met as a team to discuss where education in the state should go, along with the new Commissioner of Education. So it was a very robust discussion, and I want to thank the Merrimack Valley Superintendent's Roundtable for that meeting. I want a couple of things of shout outs. The school play was amazing. It's one of my favorite events. You know, the kids work so hard. I always go on a Sunday afternoon because that's when the kids get to thank the staff that helped them. It always brings tears to my eyes, and I'm not being just corny saying that, but I was wiping away tears because I think Rich Purcelli and Linda Urban, for many of the kids, they're just a huge important role of their time here at Whittier, and it was very special to be there to hear what the kids had to say about those two teachers. And the other thing, Chairwoman Gilbert and I met with our rep from Whittier, Katie Cosmas, the president of the WREA, and we discussed school funding, and I think we're all on the same page that we need to continue to work on developing ways to increase school funding in the state of Massachusetts for schools. A lot of our communities are really struggling, and we need to continue to have them understand ways to that are the differences in our school systems and how we can improve our schools with school funding. So I've met with many representatives, including Representative Kalkors, Representative Vargas, Senator DeZoglio, Senator Tarr, and Representative Mara, and they've been very open to discussions. They've actually given me their cell phone and called me on various occasions. I had dinner with Senator DeZoglio, and I think you all received a notice that she's having another meeting to discuss school funding. So I'm very hopeful that there'll be some changes to the foundation formula this year because they are really interested in making sure that this happens. So,
Would you like me to share my little story?
sure.
Back when the formula was first developed and ed reform came into play, we were all anxiously awaiting it and realized right off the bat that vocational schools had not played a major role in this formula. And there were lots of meetings, and I went to one in Blackstone Valley where there were at least half a dozen legislators there and talking about it, and I asked the question, why weren't regional schools considered in this formula? And the answer I received, and I wish I could remember which of the legislators it was, but I was not impressed. I should have remembered it. He said, well, we admit we forgot about the regional schools. And let's give it a year and we'll work on it and we'll see what we can do. Well, it's been since what, 1993? And they've never done anything. So it's I feel like I've been banging my head against that wall for all those years, since 1990, when I first got on a committee. And I've got a pretty good headache out of it, but I hope this time they mean what they say, and they will listen to people, and especially people from regional and vocational schools. We're a whole different animal. So,
Just to add to that, Dina Sullivan is chairing the regional school committees, and I've been
Yeah.
involved a little bit in it, and they've gone full tiller on that, trying to put pressure on legislators and so on. They've had legislators at their meetings. We had a telephone conference when I was down in Florida with, I guess, the assistant commissioner on the process. So the pressure's there, but when will it break? And, you know, you never know with the legislature, when they mouth and say something, but when will it actually come to fruition?
yeah, and not to demean Dina at all, but I chaired that committee for over 5 years. We did the same thing. We invited legislators to our meetings. We went into Boston. We made phone calls. We wrote petitions. We wrote all kinds of things. And I applaud her for trying this again. She knows what we went through. She wasn't on the board, but she's picked my brain quite a bit. And I just hope they get somewhere this time. It's so discouraging. And each time something builds and gets started, you have such high hopes that this time they'll get it right.
You know, there's so many input into that formula, 57, 58 varieties of the formula.
Yeah.
They've cut it down a little bit, but they need to tweak it more, and they need to consider vocational schools and
Yeah.
all regional schools.
Yeah.
Whether comprehensive or vocational.
Yeah, they do. So anyway, that's my tale of woe. But hopefully, things will change this time. So you have to just keep at it.
Right.
You know, you just got to make noise, and you got to make phone calls, and yes,
Well, we have had the governor visit a few times. I hope he's gotten a positive, view of us.
Yep.
He seems to have.
Yes, I definitely, and in speaking with the legislators, they feel they're committed this time to really making something happen. And can it be to the level that I think would help everyone? That's kind of the goal, is to make sure that whatever they do, it will impact everyone in a positive way. Because there's different bills out there right now that some will win and some will lose, but I think right now they're really committed to trying to make sure that everyone wins at
Well,
some.
everyone needs overall fairness. I mean, that's,
Right.
if they go at it that direction, then everyone should be a winner.
Right, so, if I can just review senior graduation activities, unless Andrew, you would like to do them? Do you know the dates? No, okay. Mock Crash is on May 23rd. The School Talent Show is on May 24th. Senior Sign Out, I bet you know that day, May 28th. The Senior Prom is May 28th. And graduation and senior awards luncheon is May 30th. So it's an exciting, we're walking into a very exciting month or so.
May
Here at
30th.
Whittier.
Graduation.
Graduation,
Graduation is May 30th at 6 o'clock.
6 PM.
the talent show, the senior talent show, we don't go. I know, I ask that every year. I want to go. If I come dressed as a student, you'll never know I'm 70, right? No.
I'll stop you at the door.
What do you say?
He said, you can sneak in.
All right, thank you.
So I'd also like to establish a scholarship according to school committee policy. The Lowell 5-cent Savings Bank is donating $500 scholarship to benefit a graduating senior. I'd like to thank Allison Common at Lowell's 5-cent Savings Bank for this general scholarship.
Move the superintendent's recommendation. Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none? Yes,
Are
Gary?
these scholarships that we've been approving, are they just this year, or is it?
It's funny, we've had this discussion, so in the future, because it's establishment, we're only going to bring to you new scholarships that need to be established. Any repeats, we won't bring to you in the future.
Oh, that's why you haven't brought mine in. Okay, got it.
Also before you is a job description for the Director of Community Partnerships. I just would like to have a vote on this job description. Approval of the job description.
Move the superintendent's recommendation. Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Any questions about that? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No? Okay.
Also before you tonight is a coordinator of cooperative education job description. Looking for approval for this job description.
Superintendent's recommendation.
Second.
Any discussion on that? No? Hearing none? All in-
I just had
Oh.
one question. We had a woman in here, Tia Roy.
Right.
Was she part of one of these descriptions? I mean,
The Director of Community Partnerships.
community partnership?
Yep.
Thank you.
Any more questions? No? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No? Okay, moving on.
And I have a field trip for a Skills USA State Conference on April 25th to April 27th, and that is in Marlboro.
Will they be staying there?
Yes, it'll be an overnight,
Motion to approve.
2 overnights, sorry.
Yeah.
Second.
Any discussion on that?
Regular
Go ahead, say it.
paperwork.
Thank you, Dick.
Yes, Dick?
They will have it before they leave, for sure.
Any more discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? None? Okay.
And then I have Patty Lowell to discuss, give an admissions update.
It's not
Hello.
here to get up here. I just had to stand before I could get up here. I have a bum knee, so standing for a second before I move is a prerequisite right now. So, good evening, Madam Chair, members of the committee, and Superintendent Lynch. In your packet, you have received this year's admissions update, and I included a summary comparison as compared to the prior 2 years, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Yes.
Are the demographics for our younger kids going down generally? I mean, the kids that are going into
Depends
third,
on the
fourth, fifth
community.
grades?
But many of the communities, yes, but it depends on the community. Some are up.
So of our 11 communities,
A total, the whole number, I don't know, actually.
The date is here.
I'm just wondering if the baby boom is over and we're seeing a decline in the demographics.
Well, the demographics in our entire region, every city and town, regional school district is going down except for the city of Haverhill. Our admissions is not necessarily seeing that same
Right.
trend,
Ours is going up, right?
Not yet.
not yet.
Okay, thank you. I like to talk about that because I know that the baby boomer generation is getting old. We gotta start thinking about geriatrics instead of childcare.
Oh, man. Anybody else have any questions for Pat? Oh, Charlie, go right ahead.
And notice we got 422.
Yes. Yes, robust admissions here.
Oh, really?
So, and I think from the past, excuse me, around 15% don't come.
Yes, yeah.
Is that still over capacity though?
It'll be tight. Yes.
We won't be over capacity, but we will be at capacity. So
We'll
we
be at-
need to,
okay, so-
we need to be thinking about a waiting list and those kinds of things moving forward,
forward.
which we've never had to do.
Do we have a policy on that?
We do.
We do.
How many can we actually accept this year out of that 422?
We accepted
Oh,
422.
you accepted the 422.
Yeah. Our enrollment ideal would be at 350 at the most, yeah, for the capacity of the building.
And Maureen said we've already had 300. Return. That's wonderful, I think.
We're going to have a busy summer scheduling students.
So we'll maintain about 1,300 students.
About that, yes.
Any more questions?
Can I have a comment?
Yes.
I just really want to thank Patty Lowell and Christine Morrison. They have looked at every single one of these 531 applications, and the guidance department has interviewed all of the 531 students, and it's a considerable amount of work to make that April 1 deadline, and they met the deadline. They were cross-eyed, I think, at the end, because there was a lot of numbers and counting, but I really want to thank you and your team for doing a phenomenal job. We've never seen numbers like this, and I think a lot of it's because of the hard work of the guidance department, the recruitment efforts of yourself and Christine and Tia Roy, and we're seeing the fruit of those results, so thank you.
Patty, could I just ask you, did all of our communities participate in the tour?
Yes, yes, all the schools toured the building. I can't say that every eighth grader toured the building, but.
Right, but they all,
And many of our schools, Christine also went out and Tia Roy to speak to seventh and eighth grade groups in their schools. Some of those schools, invited them in to speak. And, but all the schools did participate and
they
had.
did, because
and brought
previously we've
students.
had one or two that,
We had one school district that did not send everyone. But they,
everyone or anyone.
everyone.
Yeah.
They sent a select group of students, but every other school district
Yeah.
sent everyone.
Okay, all right, thank you
Yep.
very much. Hard work.
Thank you, Patty.
Thank you. Oh, one more question?
I noticed that several of the towns, that it's almost 1-for-1. Like Merrimack, 9 applied, 9 got accepted. Newbury, 5 applied, 5 got accepted. Salisbury, 10 got accepted. And the ones where they all did this, within 1 or 2. So do you think that's the students, excuse me, that apply, assign the work that the school's done down with the lower grades is now moving up?
I think we've tried for the past several years now to really get the word out, to keep the process transparent, to be really clear about what admissions looks like, and if a student wants to come here, we want them to come here, and we'll do what we can, and we'll work with the schools and parents to help them get here. So, yeah, I think overall our admissions rate has gone up based on that, and most students, if they're not here in ninth grade, they still have opportunities to get here moving forward, but we do have a very good acceptance rate overall.
It's great.
Are you still reviewing the applicants in June?
Yes, yeah, that's all part of the policy, what we do.
So it could go even, you go higher.
Yeah, you could.
You have to look at the positives.
I am. Yeah, all right.
Right,
I
thank you.
think
Anything
Whittier,
else? Thank you. Thank you, Patty. Okay, we have no principals report tonight,
What? This is an outrage.
but we do have Ms. Cosmas, our business manager.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Superintendent Lynch, members of the committee. You have in your packet a variance report for 9 months of the fiscal year. It's hard to believe that we are winding down. And as you always see, accounts with available funds are highlighted in green and can be used to offset the accounts with negative balances that are highlighted in yellow. And we have more money in green accounts than we do in yellow accounts. And I'd also like to remind you that as we get to the end of the year, you typically will start to see some transfers. We have some things that we do before the end of the year. We buy a few items that we have budgeted that way. We put them aside and say if there's money, we will buy them at the end of the year, so I'll bring a transfer forward with that. And then usually in August, I bring forward a transfer that balances all the accounts out at the end of the year. And as typical, I am projecting that we will, have a decent balance at the end of the year, and we should be fine as things go along. Are there any questions?
I'm glad to hear you say that we had more money in the green category than the yellow, because there are definitely more yellow lines. And I was getting kind of nervous when I went through it, but I wasn't going to try to do the math. I leave that to you.
We kind of know that, going in. We remember when we budget,
Yeah.
we're budgeting now for stuff we're going to need a year and 3 months from now.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have money at the end of the year, so we'll buy it ahead, which frees up the money because there's something else that will happen that we don't know that we need. So it's all
Thank you
pretty good.
very much.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, moving right along here. And we have not had an executive subcommittee since the last one, right? Meeting, did we? No, okay. Do we have a need to meet?
No, but we haven't done the May annual agenda item.
Oh, I skipped right over that. Okay, so next month, we are going to, I will be appointing people to the subcommittees, and I think each of you got this in your packet or tonight. If you would look it over and see if there's anything that interests you, or if you want to make any changes, or if you would like to be added to one, make a note of it, and we'll take care of that next month. We will have the superintendent's evaluation. Do we have a document for that?
You will.
You want this? Okay, all right. So that will be coming up, and we will meet our new student representative to our school committee, and we'll be saying goodbye to Andrew.
Who's that gonna be?
I have no idea yet. I have to talk to my son about it.
It's a vote, right?
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever pick someone?
Me personally, I've had ideas, but
Okay, now we'll go to the subcommittee reports. Executive, we have not met, and we do not have a need for a meeting right now. Instructional personnel,
Have not met.
Have not met.
you haven't met. Plant operations, Mr. Tucker.
Has not met, but I'm curious how the concrete electric signage is going up front.
Looking good,
I don't
slow,
think we
yeah.
need any. We'll wait till next month until things thaw out and see how that's going. But that's the only project that I
Right
know
now.
of.
Yeah, we're gonna
Was there
need,
any- Was there any electrical damage? Did you have a tree damage?
so, we had a tree down on last Wednesday at that windstorm. I got a call around 10 o'clock that we had no electricity in the building. Mr. Hardy, our facilities manager, said, I'm gonna go take a ride from home to see what the damage was, and he pulled in the driveway and saw a big tree down with all the wires. So I was very grateful that he took the drive over. This was about 10 o'clock at night, and I said, we'll talk again at 4:30 to decide what we need to do about school. 'Cause I was hoping that maybe some tree guy would magically in the middle of the night put trees. They put up the wires, and that didn't happen. So at 4:30 in the morning, we had decided that we were gonna have to close school because you couldn't get in or out of the building at the time. So I really.
Was it on the driveway, or?
It was on the driveway. It went right across, over the lines and right across the road. So really want to thank Mr. Hardy and his team for the quick phone calls. And it could have been another day, but we were able to get everybody out here that needed to get out here. And it was completed by 3:30 on Thursday.
If I may, is there any insurance coverage that we could get out of this?
We didn't need to have that because the power lines were covered by the utilities.
Okay, no lost wages or school bus, no,
Nope, nope. We're extended an extra day. It's like a snow day.
like
Yep,
a snow
that's-
day?
Yeah, Andrew was happy because he doesn't have to make it up.
Electrical,
I was on call, so I didn't.
After the date.
we'll call it an electrical day.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Right now, the last date is
Lisa says June 15th.
June
14th.
14th.
15 if
15th.
What is it, June 14th or 15th?
it's a 14th.
Like it.
Friday the 14th, right?
I'll be able to tell you at the May meeting, the
Oh,
exact
good.
date.
That's when the casino's opening up.
Jeez. I'm not getting an early release for that.
All right, that's all we have for plant operations.
Okay, thank you very much. And Mr. Early is not here. We do have minutes from that subcommittee that we
Move to
need to.
accept.
As second?
Make a request for an amendment?
Sure. Is that your name being in two places?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was going
I
to
saw
bring
that,
that
too.
up. Yeah, so which was it? Were you here or you weren't?
I was not.
You were not here, okay. Okay, so
Move
as amended? Okay,
Second.
thank you. Any more discussion on that? No, all in favor?
Aye.
I have to abstain because I wasn't here for that meeting. Right?
No, you can vote, because,
just
you can vote to accept it.
Oh, wait.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you were,
yeah.
No,
oh, you
I
weren't there
wasn't
either.
You
Well,
don't want to accept them?
those of us,
You've got the minutes.
I'll accept the minutes.
yeah,
You've got the minutes anyway.
yeah. Okay, all in favor, we got an aye, we did that, everybody. Okay, no abstentions. All right. Our next regular school committee meeting is
We got
May
policy.
8th. Oh, Dave, how did I forget you?
We did, policy subcommittee met this evening, went over rental policy for the Whittier. This was in our hands prior to this point, but we wanted to send it off to have the attorneys take a look, and the superintendent did. So the attorneys took their time, got it back to us. We have reviewed it, and we will be bringing, Lisa will be sending out the policy to everyone in the packet for May, and we'll be having the first reading during May, second reading in June. Again, a lot of this came about, too, because not only do we need that policy, but also with daycare coming in and the new field and other facilities, we wanted to make sure things were clear. So we'll bring that forward for first reading in May. And that's it.
I have a question. Well, I guess we need to vote on acceptance of the minutes first, so.
There isn't any.
There were no minutes. In our information that we got on that at the meeting, the fields were not listed as being able to be rented out or whatever.
Right.
So when and if we change that, do we come back?
I would assume we would come back and have an amendment to it, or just a brief addition to the policy itself. Once things are clarified, we want to make sure it's clarified, have the attorneys look at it, and then just add it to the existing, contract. And it's extensive, and it covers, obviously, it covers Whittier and Whittier personnel, et cetera. It covers the district and so on, so it's quite extensive, and, I ask you all just to read it as it comes in the packet. And you have any questions, bring them to the meeting next in May.
We'll have our first reading then?
First reading in May.
We don't need to waive the second reading, right? We go right to
Well,
it?
if the superintendent
Need
felt
to?
it was critical that we had it immediately, I could suspend the rules and move that we have a second reading and final reading.
I mean, the sooner we get the policy in place, the sooner we can kind of get moving with.
If you'd like to do that, we'll probably have a brief meeting prior to, and we'll arrange to suspend the rules, and hopefully, at that point, move to second reading, final.
Okay.
Okay.
So are we going to meet at the next meeting before?
I would say maybe when we look for meeting dates, probably 15 minutes before the regular scheduled meeting. So maybe
May.
6:15 in May.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah? Yeah. Okay, and change that to 6:15. Okay, moving right along. Where are we now? We don't have any new business posted, and this really isn't business, it's a suggestion. If anybody is interested in going to Day on the Hill, we need to register and sign up for that if anybody is interested. So keep it in mind, it is May 1st, it's a Wednesday. I'm going. I don't know if anybody else wants to go, just let Lisa or Maureen know that you're interested. So will you sign me up?
Sure.
Okay. Want this?
Yes. I can do it online, but it will not.
Okay, all right. And we do need, I need a motion to enter into executive session to conduct contract negotiations with non-union personnel, business manager, and to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel. The 12-month staff, and upon completion of executive session, will return to open session. I need a motion.
Motion to go into executive session.
Second. Roll call vote on this. Lisa?
Yes.
Charlie?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Ben?
Yes.
Joanna?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Dave?
Aye.
And Brett?
Yes.
Yes. Unanimous. Okay. All right, we are back into open session, and we have some votes to take. We are voting on the contract for our business manager. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second.
You have to state what it is.
Before the motion, or?
Yeah.
Motion to approve a contract. That's
Adding, so, yeah, her proposed contract would be adding $5,000 annuity to her actual salary plus a 2.25% increase.
Okay. The new contract will be including her $5,000, the $5,000 annuity into her salary, and starting July 1st with the, an increase of 2.25.
Moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? No. Hearing none. Lisa,
Yes.
this all has to be
Does everybody express?
Yes.
roll call.
Yes.
Paul, Ben, Joanna, Gary, Chip,
Yes.
Dave.
Yes.
Okay. And the next one, we have the, where is it?
Comptroller.
Controller.
Comptroller.
Oh, you got it.
All right.
She's got it.
We need a motion to move the superintendent's recommendation that the school committee vote to increase the salary of the comptroller from $63,397 to $77,000, effective April 10th, and approve a 2.25 salary increase for the comptroller from $77,000 to $78,732 for the 2019-2020 school year. Thank you. Second. Any discussion? Yeah, Gary and Joanna. Hearing none. Lisa?
Yes.
Charlie?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
And Joanna?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Chip? David? And Brett?
Yes.
We're good. Okay, and we have another contract to, to vote on, to approve a 2.25% salary increase for the Director of HR/Administrative Assistant to the Superintendent from $106,162 to $108,551 for the 2019-2020 school year.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, we will vote. Lisa?
Yes.
Charlie?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Ben? Joanna? Gary?
Yes.
Chip?
Yes.
Dave? And Brett?
Yes.
And myself. We have a recommendation for the salary increase for the Director of Technology and Information Systems. It is, we vote to recommend to the full committee a 2.25% salary increase for the Director of Technology and Information Systems from $110,000 to $112,475 for the 2019-2020 school year. Do I have a motion?
Move the recommendation.
Second. Any discussion? No? All in favor? Lisa?
Yes.
Charlie?
Yes.
Yes.
And Joanna? Gary? Chip? David? Brett? Thank you very much. Do we have another one?
Patty.
Yeah. We need a motion to approve a 2.25% salary increase for the Director of Pupil Personnel Services from $141,250,000 to $144,428 for the 2019-2020 school year. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Second. Discussion. We'll vote. Lisa?
Yes.
Charlie?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Ben? Joanna? Yes.
Yes.
Gary? Chip?
Yes.
David? And Brett? Yep. Getting there.
One more.
Do I have to list all of these?
Non-union personnel.
Just, but not what they are? Okay, we need, to recommend the following salary increases for the non-union personnel as listed, and it's a 2.25% increase for the 2019-2020 school year.
Move the recommendation, superintendent and subcommittee.
Second.
Discussion? Yeah, well, okay. Lisa?
Yes.
Charlie?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Ben? Joanna?
Yes.
Gary? Chip? David? And Brett? Yep. Now what? That's it? We are.
Bus drivers.
Second.
Discussion.
We gotta do the bus drivers.
Oh, bus drivers, we did change.
Oh, we have one more to do. That's not up.
It's
Right here.
from
that to that, from this number to that number.
Another change in salaries for the bus drivers, we are increasing the amount from $51.38 per route to $55 per route. It's a 3.62% dollar increase
That'll bring them in. An extra $3.
per hour, yeah.
No, per route.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve that?
Second.
Discussion on that. Lisa?
Yes.
Charlie?
Yes.
Paul?
No.
Changing your vote?
You voted yes in executive session.
But, in-
Oh, all right, well.
yeah, you can't change,
You
Can't
can't
change?
change it.
no,
All right, yes.
ethics violation.
All right. It's
Yes.
just a
Joanna?
technicality anyhow.
Yeah, every,
Yes.
Chip. David and Brett. Thank you.
Now you can adjourn.
Now we can adjourn. We have a motion and a second. We discussing this?
Well, may I just make a comment
Yes.
while we're awaiting the vote? I think we have a very professional administrative staff that the superintendent's put together. And I also think that they're all ambitious and bright, young, middle-aged people. I just wondered if the superintendent anticipated they would be around for 3 more years? Or has there been any movement for other top administrators to become superintendents elsewhere?
I hope not.
Because, I mean, you have several qualified people, and I can see how they could easily be enticed. So I just wondered if the salaries that we've given out tonight are adequate to keep them around.
I think the administrators are very appreciative of the school committee support, and you're right, every single one of them could be a superintendent if they chose to be. But it's my hope that they stick around here and we continue to move Whittier forward, so.
That's always a concern when you develop an excellent team, people want to duplicate it elsewhere. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Now, we can vote. All in favor
Aye.
of adjourning, and it is 7:37, 7:38?
Wow, good time.